Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to show you my team that I have that I used to tackle the Jathalea fight. This is something that I have just built, and I did a little bit of a run before this, and honestly I did not expect to do this, but I'm just gonna say this is gonna be my highest damage that I have done so far on this challenge. 1 second, let me just fix, because admin stuff and whatnot. There we go. But basically what you want to keep in mind when you're facing Jathalea is obviously going to be the most important thing is this one. Increases radiant damage taken by the enemies, which means the boss herself is going to take more damage from radiant people. So, just standard radiant damage, or people that are like rally, they also deal radiant damage. And you're going to try to bring at least the DPS heroes for this team to do radiant damage. It does not matter if everybody else, the supports and whatnot, are not radiant. That's not going to be important. However, you will want to try and keep that 5 elemental affinity so that you're going to do the biggest damage that you possibly can. And other stuff that you want to keep in mind is if you're going to bring some heroes to fight this fight, you're only going to be able to use them on this one, and that's about it. Okay, so let's say bring 5 people. Those 5 people I cannot use in any other of those challenges. And at the same time, the damage that you will be doing on this one is gonna be set. So always try to keep it towards the end of the week. That's why you can see, for example, for me over here, I still have 7 hours and 4 minutes left before this one resets. So I wanted to wait till last minute to try and improve my people and make it to be as better as I can. So the other stuff that you want to keep in mind is the skills of the boss. So the first one, skill damage dealt to enemies with less than 35% HP will increase by 25%. So obviously you're going to try and not keep yourself under that threshold. Then the basic attack attacks one enemy 3 times, dealing poison damage, and each of them has a 75% chance of inflicting poison, and then gains enlightenment up. Well, what enlightenment is going to do is it's going to increase the damage that you take from that poison. Even though it says nowhere in the game yet, as far as I know, enlightenment boosts the damage that you take from poisons as well. Then the passives, you cannot control them. This one as well, the boss will constantly gain more damage, so every time they get a turn, they gain 200% damage, so that's massive. So the whole idea and the goal for these types of fights are always going to be to try and do as much damage as you can, as fast as you can. This is not like Temporal Vortex, even though you will be trying to bring your best single target DPS, but this one, the longer the fight gets, the harder it's going to be. So for Vortex, maybe you do more damage by lasting longer in that fight. Well, in this one, you just want to try and smash it as fast as possible. And also, I want to talk about this ultimate. This is the most important one that you want to be careful about, because you need to keep in mind this area, okay? Always try to keep your tankiest people together, that they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be hit by this one. So for example, if you have 3 ranged people, don't put them all on the line, on the back line. You're gonna have 2 melee units, maybe 2 ranged ones grouped together and another one to a different side, okay? Because what this one does is it does massive damage, and for each poison on the target, it's gonna do additional damage. And not only that, but it's gonna remove I think it's going to remove all poisons, and this is the worst part. Targets killed by the skill cannot be resurrected, okay? That's important. So if you get killed by this, that's it, you're gone. So one of the most important things in this fight is going to bring attack, for you to bring attack penalty. So let me show you the team that I have, and you know what? It's not going to be a free-to-play friendly team. I'm not even going to try and call it, but this one's a little bit of a showcase showing you my best team. So what I'm using in here is the Epic Hedgehog, because he can do some solid damage, and he can also throw rallies around with this one. Then his ultimate can do some pretty good damage. Then the other one is going to be Garius. I'm using Garius for his massive heals. He is amazing. Like, I just picked him up. I just finished some Pillar of Trials so I can get my last epic scroll, so that I can give him the last scroll in this one. So he has the lowest cooldown possible, and that way he's gonna come to his heal faster. Then I have Sagomir, which, some people might say he's a meme, but he's actually amazing, because he brings attack penalty 2, he brings accuracy penalty, which you don't care about that much, but he can also bring damage. damage because he does damage scaling off of his max HP. So that's helpful, some good damage on this one, and the best thing about him is this carrot that he keeps throwing every 12 seconds, it gives that person recovery over time and it recharges their ultimate. That's massive because the faster you come to your ultimates, obviously the more damage you're going to do. The defense aura is only for arena, so it's not going to work. Then when it comes to my main DPS, it's going to be Filto. I just love this guy. The damage that he can do from this ultimate is just obscene. So he does basically 1800% attack radiant damage. You're gonna see the smacks that he does, and I basically just built him for damage and also gave him the eyeball so he does more damage on his ultimate. Then the last one is going to be Lorenthil, which I recently picked up, which I don't think I posted my video yet, but it's gonna come out. And basically what I wanted to give for Lorenthil, didn't really care that much about his damage per se, but I cared about his skill haste. So that's why I also gave him the Hourglass. But you know, if you don't have it, you do not have to. Just try and stack up as much skill haste as you can, because this is all that he's about, this ultimate. He basically puts a domain where everybody's gonna have rally. When they consume rally, they gain ultimate energy, and this is just one of the best enablers for rally people in the game. So let's check that fight, and it's gonna honestly be full auto from you know, from what I did it earlier, and you're gonna see some crazy damage. Like I said, I did not expect this myself, but the damage itself is pretty good. I also have on Sagmir, I forgot to say, the Witch's Remains, and that's going to be huge because of that defense penalty that it brings. I mean, look at that damage. Filter just did 1.2 million damage on the first smack, and that's just insane. And, you know, this is what it all relies on. As you can see, I'm just doing that damage as much as I can, as fast as possible. And the thing that you want to keep in mind for this fight is you always want to try and have, if you're not doing it full auto and you might try to manual it, you always want to have the attack penalty before the boss does this one. Because if you don't have it, by the second or third time he's going to do it, if you have a squishy melee unit, like I have Hedgehog in there, they're just going to die and that's it. You're basically going to lose damage. Look at that. Without attack penalty, he did massive damage. So what I can do here is I could stop Sagomir from doing from doing his ultimate as of yet. I'm losing a bit of damage, but I can wait for it, and then I can just do it maybe somewhere around here before the boss does the triple hit. And then I have attack penalty for the ultimate. I have the defense penalty as well. And when I do my ultimates and the damage, again, look at that. Boom. Look at that damage. He basically does 1 million damage every time he does his ultimate. And like I said, having Lorenthil in the team to constantly boost that rally is massive, because everybody else is just gonna come back to their damage a lot faster. And again, you don't really have to have exactly the heroes that I'm showing you. It's just about, you know, knowing the principle and knowing what you need to bring to the fight. So most important thing, bring rally people, because they're going to be the best damage dealers for Radiant. You see, again, we did not have the attack penalty, and I guess this one's going to actually be, I might still be able to do damage because Hedgehog, you know, he's not exactly my main damage dealer, he was my second one. But because I did not time my attack penalty correctly, you saw Hedgehog got one shot by the time the boss got at her third stack. So obviously that's not ideal. But again, see, we have attack penalty, everything's going good, and the damage is just going to keep ramping up, Even without attack penalty, this one does still some crazy damage, like 600,000. But having that defense penalty, obviously, is going to help a ton, because basically you reduce the boss's defense by 15%, and that means you're going to do some crazy damage. I'm really happy about this team. Again, it's not free-to-play friendly, but at the same time, it's not, you know, the most impossible team, I guess, to build, because you just care about having the key factors. Like I said, you want to have, in order to make it better, I guess, you want to have only 2 melee units if you can. That's going to be your main tank, which obviously Garrus is going to be the best one for this one. Let's see, do we survive this hit? Because there's no attack penalty. Do we survive it? Okay, we did, because they're tanky, but that's why I said you want to have two melee units, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be up there in front fighting the boss. And whenever she does the ultimate, if you have 2 of them like that, she's gonna always attack that once, okay? If you have, like I said, 3 ranged ones, you're just gonna have to move them towards the side. So for example, I would group 2 ranged units over there and then another one towards the side. Okay, I'm actually not doing the damage, the right damage because of my timing. I didn't put it right. I ran this team before and actually did 25 million damage. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run it again, and I'm gonna come towards the end, and I'm gonna show you the result of this one, so I don't, you know, drag you through the whole of it. I'm just gonna come back, show you the result after, you know, I did my key, and that's gonna be the one that I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna show you a little bit the build. So see you in a bit. Okay, and we're back. So look at this damage, 23.6 million damage. This is the best damage that I have done so far, and I'm obviously going to keep it because I already did, you know, the top damage. So the top damage for these ones is 22 million. You can see that obviously most of my damage is done by Filto because he's just a monster, but even Hedgio, as an epic, he did a pretty respectable amount considering he was one of the first ones to die. So 30% of the damage, that's still pretty good. And even Laurentian, even though he's mostly enabler 10%, even Sagomir 4.5%. So I guess I'm just gonna save this one. I'm gonna keep it because, like I said, that's it. This is gonna be the key for the radio one. I'm not gonna try and improve it more because, you know what, I'm not gonna try and compete that much for that top one. Let me see, did I even place in the top 50 or something? I'm top 9%. Look at the damage that some of the other people did, or those numbers. So I am basically, am I even getting a reward? Okay, top 50%. So I'm just getting one because I'm top 50%. I can not even see myself over here. So maybe if I would have pushed it a little bit better, but you know what? That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the damage. Let me quickly show you a little bit the builds that I had on them. So Filto I had in the Executioner one, okay, so that he has the what's it called, 18% ignore of the defense extra. I'm just gonna show you all of the stats for them, not gonna go through every single piece of gear, but I did say I had the eyeball on him because obviously most of his damage is coming from the ultimate, and I wanted to do as much damage as possible. Then after that, Hedgio, I have in the same principle, he's in the Executioner as well. Same thing, close to 100% crit rate, good crit damage, good attack, and I do have the arcane music box on him, not because of the bonus effect, but because of the crit rate that it gives me. So that's why I gave this one on Hedgio. Then Sagomir, I have, this is really important, I have Sagomir in the Brotherhood Spirit because every time he does his ultimate, he gives everybody that 15% attack increase. That's huge, okay, that's really massive. And it helps me a ton, and at the same time, he's wearing the Witch's Remains, which is going to be the one that has a chance to apply defense penalty. That's obviously going to be amazing, because every time he does his ultimate, he hits twice, so he has 2 chances to land it, and at the same time, he brings us the attack penalty. So, Sagomir a bit like that, and I even gave him, you know what, a crit rate glove, because why not? Give him some damage as well, and then as much HP as I could. Then the next one, Garius. Garius, I actually gave him the Mask of Lark because of the defense percent that he gives me. And even this one can help a bit, I guess, because he has that increased defense that he gains from his passive, plus the Kara that Sagomir shows on him that can help. And then apart from that, I gave him the Ancestral Protection, so he can soak up most of the damage because he's really tanky. He can soak up the damage that everybody else is getting, and it's not the perfect pieces. You can see they're not ideal. It can be a lot better. Then the last one in the team, like I said, Laurentian, I just gave as much skill haste as I could. That's why I gave him the Hourglass, skill haste and some damage over here, skill haste again, and then even no damage here, defense percent, crit damage. So maybe I could even try and get attack percent on him and try making more damage with maybe a different set. But anyway, I guess this is going to be it for the video today, guys. I'm really excited. I did my best damage yet. I managed to do 22 million, and I did not expect it. Honestly, I did not expect it because the best damage that I did last week was something about 12 million, and that was pretty hard to achieve. But anyway, this is going to be it for the video today, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.